All right, let's get started. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. I have a very exciting session. We are going to be talking about buying and selling marketing platforms. So we'll share with you in a condensed format what we've learned, not only as a software provider, but also working as an agency for about 8 years and working closely with thousands of agencies over the past 8 years. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with our community, we are 20,000 members strong. Our reach is a lot more than that, but these are highly engaged members between our client base and some of our members on Facebook. Once we syndicate this, usually our reach crosses 100,000. So any feedback you can give, any participation, because we allow at the end of the session for anybody who wants to speak or share some ideas, please feel free to stick around to the end, and this will be syndicated around. Okay, so 20,000 members, we've been building this for 7 years, and we break down those sessions into just a general intro, the housekeeping items I'm going over right now. We dive into the topic, which is going to take me about 40 minutes, more or less. And finally, I'll open up for Q&A and attendees intros. Now, in the meantime, please leave in the chat any detailed information about yourself. Put in your LinkedIn. If you have a general elevator pitch you want to leave and share with us as well, please feel free to do so. We are going to be sharing the transcript with everybody else as well. This will be recorded. The slides you're about to see will be shared with you, as well as the transcript. So if you want to communicate with someone else who is attending this meeting, you will have the ability to do so. I also want to tell you that we're giving away today access to our lead generation and marketing automation masterclass. This academy that we've put together over a year and a couple of months has been getting some amazing feedback. We've synthesized a lot of the foundations for you to create lead generation strategies for your company, for your clients, and how you can implement them in a marketing automation platform like VBOUT. So we're going to be giving away access to you towards the end, sharing the coupon if you haven't accessed it already. We are selling this course on different channels, so please keep the code once we give it to you private. We also have another certification course. If you want to become VBOUT certified, you want to go out and resell your own platform, launch your own marketing automation tomorrow and compete with MailChimp and HubSpot Marketing Cloud, we let you do that through our platform. If you are interested in our reseller, you want to become certified and learn everything there is to know about using VBOUT, I will also give you access to this course towards the end of this session. We love partners, we love agencies, and those who have worked with us in the past, you will know that we've created a very strong, lightweight ecosystem for agencies so they could amplify their selling and take their agency to another level. And that's kind of the core of the conversation and the topic for today. So stick around to the end. We're going to be giving away a lot of stuff. Not only are we going to be giving away these 2 courses at no cost to you, but also I will be sharing some documents, legal documents for some frameworks and stuff. I'll dive into this in 1 second. A quick overview of VBOUT without boring you with detailed videos, because we have a lot of demos on our site, pre-recorded, daily training sessions. You can get access to those at any time. So I'm just going to give you the general overview of our manifesto as a product. Now, we've been able to secure ourselves on the market between the underkills and overkills of the world. You can check us out on G2 and Capterra. We are always talking to our clients to leave us reviews, and we always ask for honest reviews. Now, at core, we are providing a marketing automation stack. That's the core of VBOUT. We wanted to make it with a simple interface. We don't want it any complex and robust screens and things like this. So as a full stack experience, we wanted to provide a simple and easy to learn interface with a little bit of learning curve, of course. We wanted to give it to everybody with an amazing price at scale. We're not the cheapest on the market, but for what you get for the buck and how you can return your money on your investment, that puts us definitely on the forefront of being a great price product. And on top of it, we provide an amazing support, a premium support. We want people to be talking to you. We don't want automated bots. And this is why you don't see bots on our platform except for the welcome message. Sorry, but we cannot say hello to everybody individually. We have thousands of visits today, but we want real people behind the product to support you, guide you, provide the resources. And even in some cases, they will get in your shoe and they will actually help you with some of the stuff. So these are really our core manifesto in the product. And we've been able to build this and push this through a very competitive market to be one of the top 10 products based on G2, to be very specific here. Some of our core capabilities, and some of you might have, I've read this review last time, VBOUT, does a lot of stuff. Does it do everything really well? We don't do a lot of stuff, guys. We're focused again on the lead generation, the nurture and the retention tools. And these tools can be a combination of things. So we have a landing page builder, form builder, and pop-ups. This is how you can capture leads. Once you've captured leads, you can track them and automate the sequences of follow-ups with those clients, because you need to turn them into interest. You need to turn them into, I'm ready to give you my money, give me your service. You can also launch email newsletter campaigns. And to retain your customers, we have a wealth of tools on the right side that you can deploy. So overall, we have 12 plus tools combined into the marketing stack. We're not a sales stack. We're not a support stack. We're focused strictly on the marketing core of things. We also integrate really well with different platforms. So those of you who started with us 3 months ago and they see us today, we added integrations with different platforms like Elementor. We have Integrately. Coming soon, SpiderSync in the works, Pabbly Connect, and we also have ConnectZit. So those of you who do not like Zapier because it could be pricey, we added more integrations. We also have an API layer, e-commerce layer for those who like to tinker around with code. So this is kind of the summary of the tools. This is our visual automation builder. So for those of you who are passionate about building automations, you can see how easy it is to build the sequence, schedule the sequence, and launch the sequence. It's not just a visual builder like I think it's called Jiro and some tools that mock things up for you. This actually implements it. You can send out email campaigns, SMS messages. You can send browser push. And very soon, very exciting, you will be able to do voice drops and even do some outbound calling from VBOUT and record this onto the customer profile. We've done this as an extension of people who are doing a little bit of sales beside their marketing, but do not need the CRM capability. So this is kind of a lot of the things that are in the rollout. So stay tuned for our releases. And this is finally, I won't again bore you too much, but I have to do this, right, guys? We sponsor these, so I gotta explain what we do. At the end of the day, what we empower you at VBOUT is to own your first party cookie data. I want you to have the information on your customer base, on your visitors. What are they engaging with? Where are they coming from? What is their score? Because you can take this first party data and send it to Facebook, AdWords, and third-party channels for cheaper retargeting and cheaper ad serve. So with that in mind, VBOUT lets you consolidate this. We are right here in the middle between the underkills of the world and the overkills. So we are properly priced. We don't have all the features that the other tools provide, but we have enough for you to launch very powerful campaigns. All right. Before we get started with the topic, thank you for listening for my introduction. I want you to keep this session, if possible, as interactive as possible. That means if you have questions, put them in the chat. I'm going to stop and I'm going to answer you at the end of each slide. I'm all for that. I like to keep these, as interactive as I can. Now, the second is, if you haven't left your information, leave it in the chat for others to communicate with you afterwards. We'll be syndicating the transcript. And finally, I really would love you to stick around to the end because we're giving away a lot. We're giving away courses, we're giving away documents, so you can start selling pretty much tomorrow as an agency using the VBOUT platform. Elsa, quick mic check, quick audio check. Elsa or George, can you hear me okay? How is the connection?
Yeah, all good, Richard.
Hear you.
We can hear you well.
Perfect. I will drop in our Facebook group link in the chat. George, please feel free to do so. For those of you who are not following us, we have amazing content pushed on a weekly basis there too. All right.
Okay.
Buying and selling marketing platforms. This is going to be divided into why adopt a marketing platform, how to properly choose a marketing platform, how to package the technology to complement your service if you're an agency, and finally, some upselling tactics, which we'll talk or discuss to help you push this over to your customers. As a giveaway, at the end, I'm going to be leaving some hyperlinks for some sample selling agreements, so you don't have to hire expensive lawyers to do it for you. And quite frankly, this is an area we struggled with in the beginning. I spent tens of thousands of dollars on legal counsel to put extensive agreements together for employees and for selling. And at the end, I killed the contracts and I made them as simple as a couple of pages. So I'll give you that sample, recycle it as you see fit. I'll give you a short proposal. You can start from, repurpose to fit your needs. An onboarding framework we use at VBOUT and we charge $3,500 for. So if you're an agency and you've taken our academy course and you've learned how to use or do onboarding for customers, I'm giving you this framework so you can resell our onboarding to your customers. We are taking on more than we can with onboarding. So I'm happy for partners who can actually take on that task moving forward. And a couple of more proposals that I will add at the end. All right, so Peter, they're not Proposify, but whether they could probably become Proposify, proposal templates potentially. Honestly, I haven't had the chance to speak to Proposify, but that's something that I need to look back into. All right, now let's talk about why adopt a marketing platform. I think most of us on this call already know why, but just to kind of look at the signals, everybody needs tools for the different life cycles of the client. So you're talking about, tools for increasing lead gen, lead nurture. You have to increase your sales revenue and improving customer engagement. These are the core of the conversations an agency or a marketing practitioner on a team gets into discussion with their C-level execs, right? How we can tackle all these challenges. And it's almost absolutely impossible to do so without the adoption of a marketing platform. Second, by looking at B2B buying and tech buyers, you will always see the trends of how people make decisions and the adoption of marketing tech. So there's a big chunk of marketing budgets exceeding 20% being spent on marketing platforms alone, right? So this is, in general, the budgets for marketing teams on a yearly basis to spend on marketing platforms, because every company that's paving a successful path for their lead gen, they understand this. So knowing that companies budget out for marketing technology, not marketing, right? Because marketing could encompass paid ads and paid spend. Just marketing tech alone and marketing automation will allow you to have some negotiation leverage when you are selling platforms. Also, it's worth noting, how people buy, and keep an eye on Trust Radius's upcoming 2021 Buyer Disconnect, where they talk about how people buy from you, the things they leverage from online demos, and things like, reviews, comparison charts before they engage you and they buy from you. And the reason I bring this into the conversation is that understanding how your buyers buy and the things they look for will help you craft a better offer. So needless to say, adopting a marketing platform has become, I would say, stable in any company's budget and any company's processes. Now let's talk on the buying side of things. If you are out there and you're trying to buy a platform, I'm gonna try to be as unbiased as possible here. Not to say, we are selling VBOUT and I'm pushing VBOUT to everyone. but I'm just going to take, the side of the buyer. And I use this every time I'm buying a platform. What do I look for? What are the things I should be vetting? And how can I, as an agency or a company, reverse engineer this process to craft a better path for my buyers? So let's talk about some of the things that we look for. In terms of marketing, the first thing is understanding, do you need a marketing stack or do you need a sales stack? Oftentimes companies mix both, and they might need very basic CRM capabilities like contact management, lead tracking, some activity assignment for the team. I personally do not consider these as core sales, or they do not need full-on CRMs. They could be handled by the majority of marketing platforms. So when you are setting out to purchase a marketing stack, make sure you are looking in the right place for the right need. Okay, sales stack could require forecasting, lead assignment, and round robin for lead assignments. It could require some robust on-the-go kind of app so your sales team can efficiently create deals, report by company basis. If you are in that bucket, you are probably looking for a sales platform that provides this capability. Some platforms out there, they've merged two together in one, but oftentimes if you just need some basic selling, tracking, you might find these platforms a little bit of an overkill, and you're going to end up buying a little bit more platform than you actually need. Okay. So this is the first step, is understand exactly what you're buying: marketing, sales, or even support stack. So this will set pave the way for you to look at the right place. Now, the second thing is, how friendly is the user interface? And this all comes down to you going out and testing the products. And I showed you in a chart before from Trust Radius. The majority of people, they want to get their hands on the product. They want to be able to test your service before they actually buy from you. So test the user friendliness of a platform in order for you to determine if this is the right fit for you. Oftentimes, the front end website might look shiny and the snapshots are actually polished, so it looks easier than it is. But go in there and try to do the hard things first. I'll give you a quick example. I want to create a flow with 16 touch points, and I want to be able to do this within an hour time. How can I do it? See if the platform allows you to do this and the learning curve is fast and overall use is not too hard to get to. Some platforms might take you a month to learn. Okay, I'm gonna just call out Marketo. They're an enterprise product, great product, very complicated to learn and use. So user friendliness is the second thing we advise you to look at, which is quite important. Now we have customer support. Just make sure that whatever platform you're choosing have an amazing customer support. And recently, I tried to reach out to Google Apps support, and I just couldn't. And when I was able to upgrade my tier for premium tier to get support, they actually bounced me back between 15 different units, and I never got an answer. And these are the type of support that could literally turn your experience into a nightmare. So with that in mind, I highly encourage you to test the customer support once you start trialing the system to see how fast they respond, the courtesy of the agent you are communicating with, the wealth of resources available beyond the support, and did they actually solve your problem? Sometimes the agent cannot solve your problem, and that's totally understandable, but gauging customer support is super important. Awesome. Then we have, what are the availability of these resources for you to learn things on your own? I'm the type of person, I like a little bit of a demo. I like to get support, but if I can learn things on my own, I will go that route. So gauge or understand what are the available options when budgeting for a marketing platform. Do they offer self-onboarding and they have training sessions? And we didn't do so. We were guilty until recently. We offered daily onboarding and training sessions pre-recorded And we linked it to support, so any questions we'll be able to answer live pretty much, or as fast as possible. So do they have these onboarding and coaching sessions that are free? And if they do, how often do they run them? Do they have product documentation that I can take? Do they have an academy so I can learn the things on my own pace? So understand these if they have them in the knowledge base, and how often do they push content? And finally, do they have paid onboarding options for one-on-ones? Okay. And really, guys, I'm sharing with you exactly what we have built in VBOUT over years. We understood what the buyers need. And our industry is not easy because it's very competitive. Clients want to pay less and they want to get more. But by providing these different options, we make almost everybody coming on board happy. If you want one-on-one, we have it for a fee. You want to learn things on your own, we have daily coaching sessions, or we have an academy to cover your back. So understand what kind of offers they have and what kind of support learning curve it takes. Then look at the case studies. Okay, I'm a big fan of case studies, and some of you might say, hey, it could be mastered. I totally agree. Everything could be mastered. You know, some companies pay money for their clients to leave them testimonials. Some companies incentivize them with a gift card. We want our clients that are coming on board, if they found success on the platform or if they didn't, to give us some feedback. So going through the reviews is one channel. Watching any video interviews the company have done. Obviously, you have the logos they probably will slap on the site. Take a little inventory of their followers and their feedback. I think if you do an average of all these different reviews and case studies, you will get a decent enough outcome, you know, how this company is performing and how they're benchmarking. So, you know, getting to the reviews and the case studies is definitely one step of the process. Now, trialing the product, they offer free trial, or you have to pay immediately to use it. That's obvious to a lot of you. But if the company does that and provides it, sometimes they even provide extensions if you're trying the product for the first time. Don't be afraid to ask. You need to be able to test the product in depth the exact way that you want and the way that your team requires. I have a question which I'll get to in a second. And I do see it right here. Sorry, guys, I'm pulling in the chat on another screen. All right, so Richard, question from Michael. How does your MarTech solutions work in USA? I'm not sure I follow, Michael. If you can please elaborate. We are based in the US. Our clients are scattered around the world, but over 80% of our client base are in the US. So if you can please elaborate, perhaps I can help answer that question. I will move on until Michael answers, and I'll come back to the chat. All right, do a vendor comparison. I mean, there are tons of resources out there for you to do it. You can either do it as a simple chart, have an Excel file, shortlist the top 5 vendors, stack them up with the features, and see the pricing. There are plenty of tools that do side-by-side comparison. We like G2 for one of the solutions out there that do stack up products, so you can see how things are performing side by side. And finally, sometimes vendors themselves, they have compare chart, which could be a little bit biased, but at least do your homework and vet these vendors before you go on and you do the homework on your own. Sometimes you can find some loopholes of features that they do not cover through this comparison chart, or you can use it as an initial basis for you to build your own Excel file on top of those comparison charts. Okay, so do some comparison. And there are tools that all they do, and even some solutions and services, they help you make a decision on a platform. They do the software vetting, they negotiate contracts on your behalf, and they end up closing the deal. All right, take a close look at their roadmap and how open they are for suggestion and features. Oftentimes, it's software as you take it as it is. And I understand the SaaS world is really tricky because you cannot please everybody. But when you make a suggestion and you see this suggestion come live to the product, that means the company is listening. That means you can make an impact, make a dent, and shape the product to fit your own need. So understand the roadmap of the company, speak to them and see if they have some open monthly or quarterly or even yearly meetings where they could provide or listen to your feedback on making changes and improving the product. For me, I think this is really important, not only for you, but it's important for the company that has built the product to fit the needs of their customers. All right, and finally, I think, what is your pricing at scale? A lot of products that get you on the downside, and then they eventually, once you start growing, they ramp up and they become expensive very quickly. So I highly encourage you, break down your tiers and your buckets into, where you are today, in 6 months, in a year, and even in 2 years' time. Usually people make decisions on switching from 1 to 3 years. This is kind of the average. If everything is going smooth in that time, there's no reason to switch. And the average lifetime value for us has exceeded 3 years in VBOUT. So what that means to you is do that assessment and ask the vendor, where would I be? Can I be grandfathered into some pricing? How do you increase your pricing year to year? Have this open conversation with them so you don't have surprises down the road. When we first started with Intercom, a great company, the pricing was one thing. And just overnight, they switched it to user base or team member base. And our tab jumped from $150 a month to $900 a month because I had over 30 people as a team member on there. So these are kind of the things that you need to make sure you don't have surprises and you deeply understand the pricing of the vendor. So this is in terms of you buying, us sitting in the shoe of the buyer. If you have any questions, please leave them in the chat. I will go over them again, one by one. So one is deciding what platform you want, sales, marketing, support. So you know exactly what to look for. The friendliness, user friendliness of the product. How well is their customer support, real people or bots or non-existent? What kind of onboarding options and learning curve does it take to get on the platform? Vet their case studies, see their trial and extend the trial if needed. Compare products side by side once you've shortlisted top 10 or 5, depending how you want to do this. Check the company roadmap and openness for conversation. Of course, along with their ecosystem of feedback and Facebook groups and tribe.com, whatever it is that they use, and what is the pricing at scale. All right, before we get into the second segment of this, any questions, please leave them in the chat. We will be giving away our academy for everybody who's attended towards the end, along with a lot of resources to help you get started selling marketing software or even marketing services. We have documents and legal stuff that you can leverage. So stick around to the end. In the meantime, do you have any questions? Does VBOUT have a trail for agency clients? Sorry, Peter, what do you mean by trail? Maybe I'm missing your the term. Trial. Yes, Peter, we do have trial period for agencies. If you sign up through the VBOUT interface on VBOUT.com and you get 14 days, if you need access to some agency capability, we can certainly work it out with you. There's no issue there. All right, how long is the training? Depends. If you want to do the daily training, it's 1 hour and 40 minutes, but you're covering 12 tools. We're covering 12 tools. You see me speak for 1 hour and 40 minutes, or you hear me speak, and that's sufficient to get you started and start going with the system. Okay, so that's for the daily training. If you want to watch it later, just sign up. We'll send you a replay video, which you can watch on your own term. Our academy is a lot more detailed, and you can take them bite-sized, 5 minutes at a time, 2 minutes at a time. This combined, I think it might come up to about 4 hours of content. But again, you set them at your own pace with step-by-step. If you want to do the full onboarding, which is hands-on, one-to-one, this will take about 8 sessions combined, and we can stretch them over the course of a month or 2 months. All right, Juan is asking, how does the partnership to sell VBOUT works? So Juan, if you don't mind, I'm going to go through the selling process of marketing and marketing platforms. That's going to answer some of those things stuck in your mind. And how we can resell VBOUT, I'll probably leave that to the end if that's okay. So Peter, yes, if your clients, pardon me, if you're an agency and your client needs a trial, you can add them on your portal, client portal, on one of our tiers, which is 5K, 10K. I think that automatically gives you 14-day trial. And then if you like those or they like what they see, you can always move them between plans. And if you need us, you know where to find us. We can help you extend those trials too. Thank you, Chaplain. He said the training is very well done. We tried and we're only improving. So I appreciate the feedback. Are there area groups to meet and collaborate? Facebook group is one of them. We're getting some great momentum. Once a month, we do a partner meeting for anybody who wants access to latest features, our roadmap. It's me speaking again. Sorry, guys. But we can do those monthly meetings and you can attend and collaborate. And of course, attending events like this, which is open to everybody. Perfect. So TRS asked, are there price caps? I'm not sure what price cap means, but obviously we have different price tiers and stuff like that. When selling, depending on the features, you can sell a small plan for 5,000 emails and you can resell a plan for 500,000 emails. If you have a large volume sending, you can talk to us. We can certainly set you up with the proper pricing so you can make money and we can make money as well. All right. Need to go partner meeting email. All right, George, if you don't mind getting the link to our partner meeting group, I put it in the chat. This way, everybody who is interested in our partner meeting on a monthly basis can attend. Okay,
Yes, sure.
Already made email content like Klaviyo. So we are trying to integrate with Email Writer. I had a meeting yesterday with their CEO, so we are working on some integrations there. So stay tuned, and that will help you with some content. But look, guys, we have some amazing templates. Let me see if I can share some with you here. If you go to VBOUT.com and you go to our blog, George has compiled about 100 or 150 email samples for your inspiration. So if you go to resources and you go to tools, there's one here, which I think you'll find interesting. Okay, right here, access the tool. These are email examples from popular brands. You can get some inspirations there for some email content. So again, I think there's like 100 or 150 email content to get inspiration from. Not quite the same as Klaviyo pre-made content, but I think you can find a lot what you're looking for right here until we get Email Writer integrated.
I will send you the link, guys, if
Yes.
you haven't.
Steve asked, do I still qualify for an agency if I'm just coaching? Yes, you do, Steve. Let's talk about it at the end of this because I'm going to go over some selling options in the next few slides. So I think that's going to help. And all right. Now I'll move on to the second part, which is how to package technology to complement your service. And I think, there are 3 breeds of agencies. There are probably more, guys, but I just want to kind of bring it down to the most common 3 breeds of agencies. One, there are the agencies that just sell the service. Their clients have no idea what they're using. They don't really care. They just want you to produce content. But those agencies are using platforms like VBOUT to run their campaigns and to run their service. That type of agency might not necessarily have the ability to upsell products because their clients don't care. And having, a technology piece where you're charging them for might be slightly tricky. Not impossible, but it depends if that's how you position yourself. The second breed of agency is tech powered. So an agency comes in and everything they present, they back up with software and snapshots, the power of reports and KPI tracking. If you're presenting this to your customers and you're telling them they're going to be owning their data, that content, as well as those KPIs, and eventually they could do co-marketing with you, that's a tech-powered agency, and you can easily plug the software into your proposal and charge your client a license fee for using the product. So this is the second breed of agencies we have worked for. And then there are technology-first agencies. These are the companies that are selling products as a bundle. So they might be selling market automation platform, a support platform. Maybe they're selling a CRM, a chat. So they have like a pile of different software that they combine together, billing and so on, and they're selling as a white label to their customers. So they might create their own like little login. On the login, they have like some icons, and these icons will lead to the relevant pages. We have seen companies make over 6 figures just reselling products once done extremely well. And the way they do this, they sell them on the setup. So they charge fee for setting up the entire infrastructure, and they take marketing and they plug it into their process. Okay. These are the 3 types of agencies that we primarily work with. If you are a consultant, maybe you fit into technology first company because you're doing setup and then you're leaving, right? You're not running the day-to-day operations. You're not running the campaigns on an ongoing basis. If I've missed anything, I would love to hear in the chat if you guys have any ideas for 4th breed of agencies that I did not mention. I would love to hear from you to share with the audience. Sorry, guys, I'm taking some water breaks here. Been a long day on Zoom today. All right, perfect. How many resellers affiliates are currently successfully selling $5,000 plus at this time? It depends if you're talking just software or software as a service, software and the service. Software with a service, pretty much, I would say about 99% on VBOUT, more or less, okay, instead of the starting agencies. So let's just say 90% are over 5,000 because they have a service, and I'm going to dive into that. But those who are just selling software, I would say I have 5 to 10% that are strictly on software and making commission recurrent revenue over 5,000. These are the ones that I know about, by the way. There could be some others which I never interacted with because we have a lot that could actually fall in that category. All right. Chaplain said, for anyone looking for VBOUT, I can attest for the support. I get personal assistance every time I reach out. Thank you, Chaplain. We do try our best. I really appreciate it. All right, so we have 1 breed tech-powered consultants that come back when needed. Okay, cool. So how do we price your software? And I really want your feedback here, guys. I brought in just a couple here for everyone. One is you can price on tier-based. You can price on feature. You can price on usage. Okay, and I'm talking about reselling your software as a service, right? So that's SaaS. Because if you are reselling the product as part of your service, I mean, obviously this is falling into the bucket number 2 and number 3. Again, I'm not sure if you can upsell them on the software if you're just a service. So I encourage you to explore the tech powered if you are providing the service. So what you can do here, if you are using the tier-based pricing, everybody's familiar. Usually stick to 3. Okay, anything beyond 3 or below 3 might work against you. And focus on the most popular and see how you can offer some upselling opportunities in return for contract lockdown. And I'll talk about that in a second. So this is the most common models in tier pricing, and even agencies that are selling services tiered with or coupled with the product. I've seen them do very well when offering 3 packages for their customers. Now, what do you include in there and how do you do it? That's obviously up for discussion, because some of you might specialize in social media and email. Others might specialize in funnel building, and maybe the 3 tiers could be funnel light, funnel and content. It could be funnel content and month-to-month management with some ads. So this could be the 3 tier as an agency that you can offer. The second one could be feature-based. So if you are offering, different kinds of features, I just mentioned one, which is like, if I'm offering social media access on the platform, and if you do that through the platform, I'll give you the management on top of it. So if you are breaking down your services in terms of features, or if you're selling the software with tier 1 just being email, tier 2 email and social, then obviously this is more of like a feature-based pricing. And you can see most companies try to stick to the 3 tier model. And finally, you can do it usage-based. Usage-based, and I gave VBOUT as an example, because you can change this lever for the volume of email. You can change it based on the contacts count. So if you're selling, a database of 10,000, which is how our competitors price it, you can even do it based on lead generation. So if you're generating X amount of lead, you're getting $100 per lead. If you don't produce anything, you get $0. So usage-based pricing is also very common with agencies that really preach some sort of a results and they can back it up. Now, these types of agencies, they do usage-based, and I'm going to shift away a little bit from the product or software. You have to be careful because you have to get the client serious about this and committed. And there are ways to do this. One way to do it is you tell them they will pay for, after the 10th lead, you give them 10 leads for no cost, and then you can do after the 10 lead, you start charging, but they have to pay for, 10 leads up front or something like that. Or you can charge them setup and onboarding fee, which you deserve because it takes time to build these things for them. And these will actually help you, not build an entire campaign and the client have cold feet and they're not serious, they're not paying you, and they're nowhere to be found, right? So just be careful if you're doing usage-based pricing as an agency, not only in terms of software, but also as in terms of your service. So these are the popular 3 tiers that we encountered agencies use. I'm very much open here, guys. If anybody have a question on this, how are you selling? Leave it in the chat so I can share it with everybody else. Do you have a 3rd, 4th strategy? Or, what is your approach for packaging services, software, and so on? Come on, guys, let's do it. I want some feedback. How are you selling? How are you packaging? Are you doing usage-based? Are you per feature-based, or are you tier-based? Okay, so Steve said he's standard affiliate. That's great, Steve. And we work with specific companies that just, they have a community, they're highly engaged. They're not just cold affiliates. Cold affiliates scared the crap of everybody, right? You have to be very careful with that, because cold emailing affiliate links can lead to you getting blacklisted and hurting your pool. So yes, affiliates for a highly engaged community is a 4th way, I would say. But you're not really, besides your own content and pushing events, stuff like that, you might not be worried about the technology at all. And private group training, I like it. I like it. That's actually a very efficient way to do it. So you have private group for those affiliates who end up signing up through you. That's perfect. Thank you. All right, Cameron said we sell at the lowest level, has the minimum add-ons with 10K cents per month, then goes up from there. Great entry level, Cameron. Okay, I think maybe 10K is maybe even too much. Maybe 10K the first send, and after that you charge. But don't undersell yourself by giving away too much for free, because probably that will bring down the value of what you're about to produce. And we've seen these when VBOUT was less priced as today. people perceive the low costs for low value and low outcome. So be careful how you position that. All right, customized service to the client needs. Peter, thank you for this. And I know sometimes it's a challenge to sell to the client, but if we are very flexible and everything is, whatever the client needs, sometimes we end up losing the sale. But if we come down with 3-tier pricing, the client will have less cognitive, I would say, effort that they have to make in order for them to choose which tier they belong to. And if the client really does not know what they want, they might be not the best long-term client. And I've learned this the hard way, safe to say. So if you're customizing the service to the client's need, that's great, but always start from a 3-tier pricing so you get the client to stick around to that framework, okay? Michael said, I'm just trying to set up and make a sale. So Michael, you have to build case studies. And I'm going to share with you at the end a case study framework that we've built. Once you have a couple of clients that are happy, even if you have to give away a lot of things for free for the first client or two, build those solid case studies so you can back up your service for everybody else. All right, Cameron said we are a full service agency, so we are hands-on doing everything, but offer technology at another cost. Perfect, Cameron. So that falls into the second category, I think, with a tiered approach. So that means you are selling VBOUT, you're selling your services, and if the client wants, they buy a product, right? I like that. And I do feel like you have to get them at least committed to a lowest tier on the product, any product, because the client needs to understand the power of platforms, tracking, KPIs, sending out emails. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself, the majority of the clients might be opting in to the free, no service tier, no software tier, until they get some results, and then they can scale up. So instead of doing that, get them on the lowest tier, bundle up some software in there. All right, these are some amazing feedback, guys. Thank you. So Cameron, TRS said, most commonly I work in a tier price basis, unless working in-house. Okay, that's different. When you're working on house with a contract, that's a completely different approach. I think your evolving approach to supporting your investor partners is brilliant. Thank you, Daniel. There's an opportunity to capitalize. Absolutely. If you are selling better, you're providing value, your clients are happy, you're using more VBOUT, that's the perfect ecosystem for us. And the tier and feature pricing is best way of technology approach. Absolutely. We have agencies that just specialize in one thing and they just want to sell email. So we give you in VBOUT that capacity. And that differentiates us, guys. We don't want you to go out and sell everything you have in VBOUT. If you want to break it down, we have some custom plan feature, which lets you break it down into feature by feature offering. Nothing is free. Yes, Cameron, thank you. So even at the lowest tier, there's a paid software. Great option. Peter said, yes, he has 3 packages. Great job, Peter. Add a service or value unique to you and then integrate into VBOUT. Guys, I always say this, and that might sound weird. Nobody gives a damn about a tool. Everybody wants results. So if your result is, I'm going to drive leads to you, the client buys this, I'm going to get you leads, I'm going to increase your sales. That's the first kind of hook for the client. Now, how do you get there? You need the tools. You need those utilities. If you come to somebody and say, I'm going to sell you a platform, the conversation ended, you lost the deal. So for me, I always say creative value. Thank you so much, John, for this. Platforms will actually complement that value. And Lucia said, I'm new to added mail part service. I do videos, photos with chat automatically plus ad service. Lucius, I'm all for testing what works best for you in the beginning phases. Try to stick to the 3-tier pricing model so you're not everywhere as well. And if you feel like the maintenance and the back and forth is costing you a lot more than you're generating, I say immediately kill that service so you're not building a lot of clients that are consuming most of your time. And Peter is absolutely right. The return on email is huge. So if you are creating email templates, you're sending out content, inviting conversation, and you're evolving with the email game, the return on email is a no-brainer for most of companies. Thank you, Peter. Amazing insight. Perfect. I'm really loving the feedback, guys. This is an amazing community we got going on here. Cool. Let's go into contracts. And this is probably an important aspect. What do you guys do? Please drop in the chat. Do you offer terms contract? That means, are you month to month? Are you doing 6-month contracts, yearly contracts, or even 3 years contracts? Drop it in the chat, guys. I would like to understand. Peter said month to month. Thank you, Peter. Anybody else? Cameron said they're month to month as well. Doing contracts and getting burned. Okay, thanks, Michael. Mike. Yearly and event-based. Okay, John, thank you. Yearly contracts. Month to month with 3-month initial commitment. Okay, that's a great idea. Lucius, project-based. Wes, monthly. Steve, start month to month. If parties are happy, we consider extending. Month to month with expectations set to the customer to not hire us if they don't anticipate at least 6 months. Got it. Annual. So it seems like you guys are split. And this is an area that's extremely important, guys, because getting contracts in place will ensure 2 things. One, will ensure that the client is serious. And that's really important. Okay. Whether it is 3 months, 6 months, or a year. When the client is serious and they sign a contract, that little, I don't know, Woody Allen in their head that's always nagging them what's wrong, the buyer's remorse will shut down for at least a big part of the contract, unless there's something extremely wrong with the product or the service. Second, it ensures that you have long-term, I would say semi-secured revenue stream. Okay, you have a year worth of lifetime value from a client. So that allows you to put a little bit more heart and soul, not being afraid every day, not knowing if you're going to lose that customer or not. And I wasn't in your shoe where every month, at the end of the month, I'm like, I hope the client will renew. I hope my client will renew when I was an agency. So try to create a contract structure and to test it out. Say my contract is going to be 6 months or a year with a little bit more incentive if you go for a year. Okay, now here's the thing. The client might be scared, and that's totally normal. So do you offer an opt-out option? You can say my contract term is a year, but I'm going to give you 2 months during which you can cancel. And during those 2 months, if you're unhappy with the results, you're unhappy with my team, you can go ahead and cancel and the contract will be completely null. So offer an opt-out option and extend your contract. Okay, and you'll find clients more open to this because they need to understand that if you're going to be working for them, you need some guarantees that they're going to stick around with you. Okay, if you are working with a client that was burnt in the past, you can append some of those, and we will have a lot of these agencies. You can append in your contracts some of these deliverables with timelines. And oftentimes I've found that it was the client's fault for not delivering content on time, for not responding to the agency, that the agency ended up falling out of not delivering on time. So with that in mind, I think you can tackle those challenges in the beginning phases, increase your contract length, and increase your opt-out option for the first month or 2 months. Okay, these are quite important for the company longevity. Do you build yearly, term-based, or month-to-month? That's most of you answering. Thank you so much for doing that. So I'll take some of these feedback here. All right, so wow, I got a lot more coming in. Okay, annual, unless client need adjust options, I'll work with any budget. Contract is commitment. It is commitment. Thank you, John. It means everybody's serious with an opt-out option or a clause that says, in this particular case, that we do not deliver, we are unresponsive. So make the customer feel happy, but do not sell your contract term short. With software, it's quite tricky, right? If you are reselling software, maybe it falls under your agency umbrella. So for us, agencies working with us, reselling the product, we don't force them to resell yearly licenses under them. So there will be, as an agency, within some capacity into a contract with us, because we provide a lot, but their sub licenses, they're absolutely month to month, and they could just work their way from there. Okay, so Peter said, I'm thinking of 3 month, then month to month. Peter, I think you should be renewing, I think 3 month and then do 6 month increment after that. The client will have to follow the framework that you provide. And if you prove that you're providing results, I don't see why they wouldn't renew for 3 month. Most of our vendors we work with are now pushing 2 years contracts, with year 1 being discounted at 30% and year 2 at full contract price. All right, so I got Naman said, I have a client that wants a landing page developed for Google Ads. What is the best way to position this as predefined KPI? What are good pricing structure? What KPIs can I position for a successful campaign? Quick question, Naman. I talk about this a little bit in my funnel segment, which is about 2-hour video in my academy, which will be given away for free. But some of the KPIs for paid campaigns are how many impressions, clicks, conversions on page 1 where the offer is, how many, if there's a booking involved, how many calendar bookings, if there are purchases involved, how many purchases. And these are the top 4, I would say, metrics. Okay. You can rename them whatever you want, right? Every company is different. But I've often seen companies make the mistake of also adding the sales KPI when they're only doing marketing, not doing closing. So when the company you're working with is doing the closing and they're doing a lousy job, and I've worked with companies who don't know how to close, but they have an amazing lead gen company giving them tons of leads. That's not on your plate. So you have to put a condition on your, I would say, closing ratio if you're not doing the selling for them and you're simply delivering sales qualified leads for them at the end of the day. All right, Mike said contracts only work if the value of contract significantly more than your cost to go to court to recover. If not, the client is perfectly willing to walk away from any reason. So Mike, I personally never go into a contract or a business knowing there could be some consequences, because I always do my best to remedy the situation regardless. And I guess, you know, depending what if you're pricing 3 to 5 grand, most likely you can settle off court if things go sour. I'm talking about monthly 3 to 5 grand. But if you're charging, 300,000 a year, that's a completely different ballgame. So you're right, Mike. You have to be careful, how to go to court to recover. But I always in the past, 15, 20 years of doing business, never had to go that route. I always settle things the friendly way. All right. A lot more, guys. Love it. I'm trying to answer everyone here. We offer both yearly with 3 month free, but about 90% of our clients take the monthly with a 60-day notice cancellation period. Got it. So Wolfgang, you offer yearly with 3 months free. 3 month free or 3 month opt out? 90% takes the monthly. Take the monthly. If you remove the monthly option and try to test with at least 3 month commitment and see how that works, I think that could be a starting point. Laura said we use 2-year renewal contracts to avoid cold sweats. Love it, Loris. And if the value is there, I personally think 12 month is reasonable for many companies. If this is pushing it, 6 month is the least that I would personally provide if I would go the agency route. Steve said client delivering content on time. Too true. Absolutely. All right, so Peter are talking about monthly marketing automation. That's right. So one price for monthly, then lower price for 12 month annually. Correct. If you want to provide incentive, I think prices should go up though on every year. There's always this 10% increase, which we grandfather people into. We don't really increase pricing on existing clients, but we increase pricing for new clients. And this is why you can always tell your customers, listen, if you go in with us, I can guarantee this pricing for a certain amount of month, but getting you locked into a pricing structure that's going to help you guarantee this for 12 month, 24 month, or 6 month. All right, free as discount for taking the yearly. Okay, so if they take yearly, you give them 3 month. That's great, Wolfgang. That could be incentive. You can give them 10% discount. If you have a service, maybe you can say, my onboarding will be 50% discounted if you go yearly. Find your upsell and your discount where you can afford, because clients will actually take this if they see value in that free offer. Peter said, I hate month to month. I totally agree, Peter, because you want to be able to sleep at night knowing the effort you're putting in. And don't forget, many of you might be working with other contractors and you have to pay those contractors, and you don't want those contractors to, wake up next day and say, sorry guys, I lost the client, I have no work for you. All right, so how do you guarantee the longevity, not only for you as a business, but keep that relationship with your subcontractors as a company? That's very, very important, guys. I've seen often companies suffer because they lost a client and now they have to pay some pending employees or pending contractors. Awesome. All right, how do you upsell? This is the last segment here to increase lifetime value. And I think we talked about this a little bit. Happy to open to discussion as well. So what are some of the things you can upsell companies on when they are trying to work with you or they're close to signing a contract? Anybody would like to tell us what is their upsell strategy? When I say upsell, guys, I'm talking about you started, with the basic product, and now you have some add-ons or some additional services they could buy from you. 30 minutes free consultation. Okay. Thank you, Juan. Cameron, non-existent at the moment. And Cameron, I think what helps, if you really jot down with bullet points, it should fit on half a Word document of all the things that you offer in the client, one line at a time. Which of these are essential? Which of these are nice to have that will also produce results? Anything that do not offer value could be crossed out. Never sell something that does not provide value. I did in the past. I was selling services as an agency that didn't really offer much return to the customer. And I ended up discontinuing them after losing some clients, because that one thing that you can upsell them on that does not produce results could literally impact how your other amazing results are being produced. So don't make that mistake. Okay, so Lord said, you have a core offer and give away broad services, or you can offer and then sell other items as upgrades. Yes, you can. One thing, I've seen agencies upsell on is content writing content for the customer. So if you tell the customer, you provide me with the content and I'll push it out in design. Custom design as well. These are some upsell opportunities. Cameron, thank you for your participation, and we'll syndicate this to you afterwards. So content selling is one. Software selling is another upsell. Okay, start with free, very basic plan, and then upsell them on increasing sending, doing some additional, a la carte services and requests. This is based on your client's needs, of course. Tiara said, I offer add-ons such as tech support, on-demand support. Okay, that's great. $45 an hour. Referral bonus with completed contract signing. That's also another good idea. So I think there's a lot of room of upselling here, guys. In VBOUT, where we are communicating with companies, we have onboarding services if they need it, if they have the budget, they want those one-on-ones, they need help, my team getting all their content, importing it into their system and doing the heavy lifting. So we upsell on onboarding. You can also add onboarding to your plan. I'm happy to hear ads, video marketing for Facebook and YouTube both. Okay, great. So Lucius is offering videos as a plan or an upsell. That's great. Ad copy, another very growing sector, I think. We work with agencies. All they do is ad copy and ad management, nothing else, no email, nothing else. So if you are that kind of agency, obviously ad copy is a thing for you. But I really like how you're approaching this, Lucius, in terms of, okay, if you want me to manage your overall campaign, is this price? We also we have a video package. We have an ad copy and ad testing. That's great. Anybody would like to add anything to upselling? Seems like everybody is good. Perfect. I know many of you might have additional questions, and I'm really sorry because I want to give the floor for some of you to, if they want to say anything, I can make you promote you to a panelist. But before I do that, I want to move on to the giveaways of today. First, our lead generation marketing automation masterclass. Take it, guys. If I am in your shoes, I would definitely take this. It's a $3,000 course we're giving away for free for everybody. Just use the code CourseFriend2021. It gives you all the foundation so you can generate leads like a rock star. And this is where, you know, companies want leads. If you are selling agency services, you need to know how to produce leads. Also, we have the VBOUT agency certification course. I go through everything you need to learn about VBOUT and how you can set it up on the system, including all the agency features. If you haven't taken it, it's a $1,000 course offered to you at no cost. VBOUT Agency 2021 is the code. George is putting them in the chat. More giveaways for you. This is the contract, guys. Download it. We've spent so much time creating sophisticated, beautiful looking contracts that didn't do much for us. Actually, what ended up happening with those very long contracts, people who are on the other side to sign, they had to go through their legal team. And that ended up causing us 2 or 3 weeks down the road to close. So that extended our closing period. We killed most of the contract. We kept the basics. I'm sharing this contract with you. Feel free to repurpose it. You have full permissions from me. And of course, just swap around whatever branding you might see in there. We have the onboarding framework, guys. This is what we've used. You know, we sell these easily to clients who are coming on board and they need all the help they need, right? It's a 7 to 8 sessions, sorry, that you can easily sell for a premium price because you are doing one-on-ones, 1.5 hours. So that's about 10 hours of your time with an agency. I'm giving you the framework with the presentation and all the documents so you can repurpose them as well. If you have followed our courses and everything that we do, including the academy, you'll be able to do this very easily. Okay. We don't only show in VBOUT, you know, the platform, but we also go into presentations on email best practices, how to build successful landing pages to convert, and so on. All those documents are provided to you in our academy. There's a sample agency proposal that you can use. It's not the shiniest. We've used it in the past. It's just bullet points of things. Feel free to repurpose it to your own need. It's also a Word document, so everything is editable. Another PowerPoint presentation, so you can download and use this for upselling or cross-selling some services that you offer. These are just samples here, guys, that we use, but you can use it yourself as well. And last but not least, we have a framework for building case studies. It's a script that you can go through with your customers. And I don't think I will ever run a business before building case studies and successful stories first. Once you have those 2, 3, 4 happy clients, positioning these, interviewing them for like 10 minutes, putting these videos on your site, PDF documents is really going to help you sell a lot. So social proof, word of mouth referral is really the core of this. So I have a framework with a Word document. You can go over step by step, what to ask the customer, how did you impact their business, and so on. So here it is, guys. I've given you pretty much everything to choose the right platform and to sell the platform with some options and contracts, including documents. And I will take some attendees intros. If anybody here would like to talk or say something, pitch what they have, please let us know. I will promote you to a panelist and you can just, you know, speak in front of the audience. Or if you are shy, I totally understand, leave your intro in the chat and we will be sharing this with everybody else as well. So you will have, or they will have access to your documents. And thank you for everybody, Steve, Daniel, and everyone else, Peter, for your participation, John, for talking about, all this stuff and giving us feedback. Guys, we built everything we built working closely with agencies and partners and marketing professionals like yourself. So I'm really thankful for your time today. All right, so Bozena, the course on the checkout, last step, go ahead and add that on the coupon code. There's a section that says, I think, promo code or coupon code. Just tag that code and plug it on there and the price will go down to 0. We will be sharing this presentation with everybody else after. We'll make the video available. So do not sweat it if you have to leave. The downloadable content, Steve, I think, George, you're going to email everybody the downloadable documents. So we'll syndicate it. Please keep an eye on the email. Open and
Yes,
click.
sure.
Give us that email engagement, guys. We really love your feedback. You would help us tell Gmail that VBOUT is a reputable email marketing company. So I will send you that in the email. No, you don't need a credit card, Bozena. Nothing in VBOUT requires a credit card first. If you are trialing the product, no credit card required. If you are signing up to the course, use the code that George has given, and the credit card field is going to disappear because it's going to be 0. Okay. Let me see if I can just walk you through the academy, guys. All right. Okay, so when you come to VBOUT Academy page, you will see all the courses that we have. We have 3 of them right now. So the first one is defaulting to this one right here. Just take the course. Take this course again. This is just the WooCommerce checkout, by the way. And on this view, it says enter coupon code. So you have an enter coupon code here, and that's going to help you. Look, Capital One has coupons for us. Okay. That's going to help you kind of zero it out, and that will take it away. Okay. That's it. You do not need to take the platform certification, guys. I think the platform certification is if you are using VBOUT and you want to learn everything there is to know. Okay, you become certified on the platform, and if you're an agency partner, you become an agency certified partner. This one is completely independent from VBOUT, except for the last module. I'm using VBOUT to teach you marketing automation, but what I'm teaching you could be applied with other platforms too. Of course, the terminologies might differ, but the strategy and everything in that course, the lead gen course, is platform agnostic for the most part. All right, so if you do this, guys, you'll see there's no more payment form here. So the payment form has gone once you apply your coupon code, okay? Cool. So Damien is asking, where can I find coupon for the VBOUT Academy? Damien, George has shared it. We have course friend 2021 for the masterclass. Thank you, George. Use it on the checkout. Please do not share with anybody else. This is private for our community, private to our clients, and private for those who engage with us. So keep it internal, please. I would really appreciate it. All right, I think I've gotten everybody. Thank you everyone for attending today. We'll have another session like this one next month, same time. I didn't see anybody requesting to speak, but it's okay. A shy bunch here. And we do this second Wednesday of every month with an awesome topic. And I believe next topic is going to be 2022 trends, marketing trends. Is that right, George?
Yep. Yeah. Actually, I was planning to do it on December, but we can do it on November.
Yeah, we'll discuss it. This is one of the tables where
Yes.
there's, yeah, it's one of the topics that we are working on right now. What are the trends? And so stay tuned. Thank you again, guys, for attending. We've shared some amazing resources with you, which we'll recycle via email and share again. I would love to see you on our next partner meeting if you're an agency. I'd love to see you taking the course if you're interested in learning digital marketing. And finally, I'd love just to see you on those events on a monthly basis if need be. So thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful week ahead.